Hey there, Sharon Durbin Graves here in my studio in Kentucky. I'm the creator of Painting with Acrylics 101.com, an online art school created especially for the beginning artist. If you've always wanted to learn to paint but had no idea where to get started or how to get started, you need to subscribe to my channel and visit my website at www.paintingwithacrylics101.com. Today in the studio, we are going to be talking about how to get an image onto a surface. And so there are several ways to do it, and we're going to look at 3 of them. So let's get started. I have an art friend that I follow. Okay, well, he's not really my friend, but I admire him, and I have some of his classes. And his name is C.W. Mundy. M-U-N-D-Y, and he is just a phenomenal artist. Look him up. You'll love his work. He said in one of the CD classes that I have that any way you can get the image on is fair game. So I'm going to go with that today. Many artists, particularly artists who have been painting for a while, actually just use a brush to lightly draw what they're trying to get on there. And in fact, for years, I didn't use anything but a brush. I never drew anything on. I was not a very good drawer until about 10 years ago, and I decided, okay, I'm going to learn to draw. But they'll take burnt umber or burnt sienna or a mixture, and they'll actually basically draw in the big shapes that they want. Like if they were doing a house, they might do the outline of the house. They won't get too detaily, but it gives them some place to go. I always put like the horizon line. So I knew that that's where that was, and everything else I would just put in with a brush. Now there are a lot of ways to get things on there, but a brush is one. There are also like Conte pencils, and this is a white Conte pencil. And if you're painting on something with a dark background, then this might work for you. The other thing, I use this more than anything, and it's soft vine charcoal. Okay, you buy them in a pack of about 6 or 8, and they're usually about this long. And you can get them at Hobby Lobby for under $5. And I've only bought maybe 3 packs of these in 20 years. So they're going to last quite a while. Now, the one thing that I'm going to demonstrate today is this, tracing paper. It's called transfer paper or graphite paper. I got 2 of them. They are from Hobby Lobby. You can see that they are $3.99 each. And if you'll wait till there's a sale, you can get it for 40 or 50% off. But anyway, you can transfer something onto a canvas, a paper, or whatever. And what you do is you use a stylus like this, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a few minutes. That's what just fell on the floor was the big one, and these have 2 different size points. I would go with the smallest point on there because I don't really want a very heavy line. And backing up to the soft vine charcoal, what you need to do with this is draw your image on there very lightly. This will come off with like a spray bottle and some paper toweling. But if you get it on there too dark, then it is harder to get off, and it will mix with your paint. But at any rate, this is what I use 9 times out of 10 to get an image on to my canvas. And again, I'm just giving myself a little bit of an outline. I'm not drawing details or anything like that. I will paint those on there, but I just need to know where this thing is. Like if I were doing a still life or a jar of flowers, I would draw the jar on there. I wouldn't draw the flowers. I would just get the jar on there, and then everything else I would go on there with my paintbrush. So let's get busy and hop over and see how this transfer paper works. Okay, so here I have my transfer paper, and it's all folded up. And when you unfold it, you'll recognize that there is a very dark side and there is a light side. This is shinier and this is very dull, and you want to work on this side. You're going to put that side down. I drew this bird, and if I wanted to put this bird on a painting, okay, so I would decide where I wanted the bird in the painting. Okay, so maybe I don't like him in the center. Okay, so I'm going to pull him off even more. Maybe have his tail coming off the edge. Okay, and I'm going to hold this part down, lift it up, and put the transfer paper under it. Shiny side, dark side down. Okay, now I have my two styluses here. You can see that this one here is very, very large. Okay, that on the ends, very large. I don't want that. I just want some markings so I know where I'm going. Okay, so here I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna go all the way around the outside of the bird. And everybody has problems with something. And bird feet are my nemesis. Oh my gosh, I have such a hard time. So I'm just going to kind of give them a little bit of a there and there. And here comes my trunk. So it fits in there. And I stopped right here. See, I think I got that. So now I'm going to go up here and get the rest of that beak. The beak of a bird actually comes inside the head. Here's where the eye is. Now I might put something like this in here and put this big wing, but I'm not going to do all of this. I'll do that with my brush. So let's see what we have. You hold this down to make sure that it doesn't move. Lift it up. Look, there it is. Okay, so now I can paint that bird. So that's how the transfer paper works. And it is very, very simple. Now, I must caution you, you cannot do this, what I just did, with something that you did not produce. You cannot take a picture out of a magazine or off of a calendar and put it down and draw it, trace it like that. Everything that is out there in the domain is copyrighted. And so you have to give that some deference. You cannot just trace something out of a magazine or a calendar and paint it. If you want to use it as a reference and draw it yourself, get it on here like this, and then trace it, use your transfer paper, yes, you can do that. But you can only use it as a reference. You cannot actually lay it down and transfer it out there without breaking copyright laws. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, I know I said I was going to show you 3 ways, but I'm actually going to show you 4 ways. I had this out and I forgot. So anyway, we're going to try again. You'll have to forgive me. A number of years ago for Christmas, I wanted to paint pictures of each of my grandchildren. Now I have 11. At the time I had 10. And I'm not a great portrait painter. I've never really worked on it all that hard, or figures. And so what I did was I gridded out the paper. You can see the lines over here. You can't really see them too much on her. In her face, you can kind of see them up there in her arm. Anyway, I gridded these all out. Looks like about 1/2 inch. And then I did that on lightly on the surface that I was going to paint on. So then I knew exactly in this place here was her head. Okay, her hair and everything, her face was right in here. Her eyes were right above this line. So the grid part made it so much easier for me to get it on there correctly. So I got it on there probably with a pencil like this, or on some of them I know I had to use the soft fine charcoal. This makes a wider line, so you can get a charcoal pencil I broke this one off, but you can use that. It does not come off as easy as the soft vine charcoal, and this does cover up easier with the paint. So, you know, you have that. But gritting works as well when you have something really detailed and you're unsure of yourself. And I wanted to do the project, but I was not very confident, and I know we all have confidence issues. So at any rate, that's how I did it, and they all turned out pretty good. Some better than others, but this one here turned out much better. I was really happy with it. I found all those, I was looking for them the other day, and I found all the pictures of my grandchildren and what I'd used. It was a lot of fun to see that.